Our first look at Laura Moriarty, the touring pro. As she bowls in the fourth, her team leading by 11 in game one.
And out on tour, she's really come on strong the last couple of years. Rolls the ball Brooklyn, and you see that really loosen up your team when you roll a Brooklyn and it results in a double.
So that's why my team's always loose, huh?
Not always.
That's the only way I get them.
But it certainly tells you something about lucky breaks and so forth, because you talked about the last match, Team Storm went 10 pin, solid 8, solid 9, things like that. Nice shot.
Char Hamill, you remember the last time she attempted to roll a spare, missed 4 pins on the lane, and this time a strong comeback with a strike, and they needed that one desperately as they were trailing by 21.
And that, of course, sets it up for Cindy Coburn-Carroll. But first, we're going to look at Anne-Marie Dugan, whose team is working on a double. Ooh. She almost got that ball into the out of bounds. Of course, Anne-Marie hooks the ball and lifts the ball strong enough to maybe almost get it out of the out of bounds, as long as it's not too far to the right. Anne-Marie Dugan, a member of the Brunswick staff of champions, as is Cindy Coburn-Carroll. Both anchor bowlers on these two teams.
Let's see if Cindy Coburn-Carroll can come up with the double for Brunswick Frameworks. Have these two ever faced each other head-to-head?
They have. A few years ago, they faced one another in match play in a singles tournament in the final match, and Cindy was the winner. Good shot.
That is a double.
So that cuts the lead to 10 pins.
Just a 10-pin lead now, thanks to the double for Brunswick Frameworks.
And maybe the big thing there is Brunswick Frameworks working on a strike in the fifth. Reb's Pretty Girl International working on a spare. Remember that Lori Soto rolled a great shot the first time and left a ringing 10-pin. A little bit high. Good shot, though, right in the pocket. And that's what you want. You want to be in the pocket, give yourself a chance to strike, and leave easy spares. And we did see Kelly Morrow hook past the 4-pin in the first match. But I don't think that's going to be the case with Lori. She doesn't hook the ball quite as much as Kelly did.
Ooh. Gave them all a thrill anyway.
So the left side of the lane is hooking a little bit.
And now Nedra Jerry, who struck her first time up, a strike here would give Brunswick Framework the come-from-behind lead.
And Nedra has been in the pocket every shot she's rolled today. Little wide.
Got that one outside a little bit.
And you see Nedra also looking at her hand. I think she lost it a little bit. I think maybe it's probably a little more warm under those lights out there, and she's been down there for 2 matches now, so it's possible that her hand's perspiring a little and she didn't quite get the same lift she wanted. Not an easy spare, the 2-4-5. Uh-oh.
Oh, boy. He chops it, just picking up the 5-pin only, leaving the 2-4. And the lead now 26 for Reb's Pretty Girls International. A turn of events in that 5th frame. A chance for, the 6th frame, with Brunswick Team Frameworks having a chance to actually take the lead, but then a 7 count on the first ball with 2 strikes showing, and then missing the spare, and that lets Reb's Pretty Girls International open up that 26-pin lead.
And this happens quite often on television. You come out of a commercial, the person that's up there all of a sudden doesn't feel quite the same type of rhythm. They might not make the same shot, and I think that's what happened with Paula.
Kind of like standing on a tee box waiting forever to hit your shot.
And then all of a sudden you get up there and you just don't feel right. Nice spare.
Covered it well. Again, no open frames yet for Reb's Pretty Girls International and 2 open frames for Brunswick Frameworks, and that's really the difference in this match.
Well, and we have Janine Ditch, who missed the 10-pin on the last shot, but she made a good shot. She's hitting the pocket. She's just needs to carry. That one's going to go left. Oh, and big break for them. Much easier spare shooting the 3-pin than the 310. The ball never got to the right at all. She was pulling it all the way that time. Good shot on the spare.
This is the first game of the final match between Reb's Pretty Girls International and Brunswick Team Frameworks. We have completed 7 frames, and Reb's with a 24-pin lead.
Lauren Takahashi, who struck her first time up. Again, good shot, a little bit high, leaves the 4-pin. It'll be interesting to see how she shoots it, considering she just saw Lori Soto shoot the 4-pin and the ball almost hooked away from it.
Well, if you look at Reb's line, they have had 2 strikes, and the rest spares. They've only had 1 2-pin spare. The rest have been just 1-pin spares.
And that makes it much, much more simple. The bonus for them is those 2 strikes were together. Now, Laura Hardiman. We'll see if she continues if Janine doesn't strike, she doesn't.
She'd like to break that mold right here.
And it looked good. Great shot. And they need that. They need to get something going. They need to get a little bit of a positive feeling out there.
By the way, when these 2 teams went head-to-head in match play, Rebs won pretty easily. 459 to 423 the total in the 2-game match. Anna Brooklyn got the Brooklyn strike her first time up.
Laura just looks like she's not quite trusting the ball to go to the right.
Contour Power Grips, the first team for Contour Power Grips, they finished in 4th place.
Of course, Nikki Giannoulias on that team.
Bill Lanes out of Northridge, California, finished in 5th place.
Spare ball. I don't think a lot of people thought she was going to make that spare.
From Oceanside in 6th place, Coast Garden Center. In 7th, Strike Connection, Buena Park, California. In 8th place, Linz. Everybody was kidding them, saying, well, you didn't finish 2nd this time. So many times in this competition, they've gone into the finals as the #1 seed, but haven't yet pulled it out.
Good shot.
Oh, they needed that double.
They sure did, and Char made a great shot. She needed it in 2 ways. #1 for the double, and #2 to set up Cindy Coburn for the 10th frame.
And in 9th place, the 3rd team from Contour Power Grips out of Fresno. And in 10th,
Barry Asher Embroidery from nearby Costa Mesa, California.
Their men's entry finished 2nd this week in a match play competition. Solid there on the 7-pin. There's the look at the scoreboard as we head into that 10th frame in game 1. Remember, it's a 2-game match.
And we get another chance to see Anne-Marie Dugan. Anne-Marie, a little bit wide on her first shot. I think she'll probably try and go with a little more speed this time. Great shot. Saws through the light rack. Very, very
first
strong
TV
bowler.
appearance. We don't want the viewers think we've all gone nuts and think she hasn't been on TV before. She has, of course, as a professional in the singles realm, but this is the first time in this team event she's been on television.
Well, as a matter of fact, the first time she'd ever bowled Baker format was a year ago in this exact event. So she doubles in the 10th. They'll be in the 2-teen range.